We want to take you back to one of our big stories tonight, the growing fallout after the House Oversight Committee released thousands of pages of those new documents related to the Epstein case. Earlier today, I spoke with two survivors of Epstein's abuse who are there alongside that newly sworn-in lawmaker, all of them saying this is just the beginning of the fight for transparency and accountability on Capitol Hill. Tell me about the moments less than 24 hours ago when you are, for the first time, sitting in the House gallery watching the Congresswoman get sworn in.
It is something that I will absolutely never, ever, ever forget. Not just because of how historic a moment it was for us as a country, but also the validation and the representative's fierceness. Her courage is just so contagious to all of us. To have her validate us in front of the entire House and for Jess and I to get a standing ovation from the members when we have felt at times so unheard by the people in our government was absolutely transformative for me.
I mean, we also know we're no longer just representing Epstein survivors. We are representing 1 in 3 women. You know, we are representing survivors that have never had a voice, and now we're following you.
No, I'm following you.
Is that how you see it?
Absolutely. The strength that they have shown throughout this, I mean, I can't even imagine what it feels like for one of the most horrific times of your life and for you to have to repeat it over and over again. And you don't have to, neither of them have to.
It's the first speech you made as a member of Congress, and it was on this. Why was it important to you to focus on this issue?
Because so much attention has been put on this issue, and what it really has done is shown the cracks in this administration of secrecy.
Had you had conversations with Speaker Johnson about this?
I've never spoken with Speaker Johnson until after my swearing in. So we've
Even
never,
before the swearing in?
No.
No discussions on the timing of it and the, you know?
Not at all.
What is your expectation for how many Republicans do you think may join Democrats on this?
If they hear from their constituents, every one of them should. Because this is not a partisan issue. Protecting and shielding pedophiles and abusers from legal consequences, nobody should want that. Everybody should be signing on to releasing all of that information.
Jess, what is your message as these lawmakers prepare for this vote next week to them?
We need the American people to not stop putting the pressure on. We need their backing. I've heard it on social media. You have millions behind you. We need millions on the phones. We need millions in emails consistently. We can't stop putting the pressure because it's only one tiny victory. You know, we can't just ride on that right now.
I want to applaud the Republican lawmakers who've broken with their party already in support of us. I just want to reiterate that sex trafficking is a crime. It's not a political issue. And this current administration is really politicizing something that has no place being politicized.
We have heard from the White House, from members of this administration, the idea that some of the discussion around the Epstein case files and the Epstein case is nothing more than Democratic deflection from the shutdown, for example, or as the president has described it previously, a Democratic-led hoax, essentially. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's not a hoax if your name's all over paperwork. It's not a hoax if you can point to victims. And so every single person that is pushing back on this idea that the issue is not credible. We didn't bring up the issue. Democrats, this was not the issue that we ran on a campaign. Trump did. Trump said on day one, I'm going to release the files and let you all know what's in there.
When President Trump's name comes up in these emails, had either of you seen or heard about anything that might have implicated him in connection to Jeffrey Epstein?
I think there's been other information released about their friendship already. There's been photographs. There was the addition to Epstein's birthday book. So I don't think that anyone was surprised about their friendship. I think that these emails gave some new insight into what that might have looked like. But I don't, and again, I don't want to speak for you, Jess, but I don't think we were surprised.
We weren't surprised. That's not the word that we would use. It It was validating to see that what we were asking for was transparency, and seeing why there might not have been transparency.
And we have talked about this before in our conversations, that every time there is a piece of news or a headline about this, you're reliving your trauma.
And it's an emotional and physical response. I don't have visual things happening in my brain, but the emotional and physical response doesn't stop. It's another reason why we're here, though. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking, because we don't want anyone to have to go through what we're going through right now.
It's really important for people to understand that as survivors, we can't do this alone. We need our allies to do in order for us to be able to do this work.
As we're looking ahead to this critical vote next week, I can't imagine that for any of you, that is the end of the road.
It feels like it's just the bottom of the next hill. And I had a friend say, yeah, and it's the beginning of the fight.
Is that how you feel? That this is the beginning?
That it's a new beginning. We're at another level, and it's just going to continue on.
Congresswoman, for you, how do you think about the fight to protect women and the journey here when it relates to the Epstein?
This is literally, it is the beginning.
We should note that the Speaker's office confirmed Speaker Johnson's first meeting with Congresswoman Grijalva was yesterday. NBC News also reached out to the White House on some of what you heard there about the claims that the administration is engaging in secrecy. We also asked about the idea that you heard that the president is politicizing sex trafficking. A spokesperson has responded, telling us in a statement in part, I'm quoting here, the only thing these emails prove is that President Trump did nothing wrong. Democrats are the ones politicizing Epstein, the White House spokesperson says, to talk about anything other than their party getting utterly defeated by President Trump in the shutdown fight. Adding, President Trump has always denied wrongdoing linked to Epstein, and saying that Democrats are the ones who don't care about Epstein's victims and using them as a political distraction. Obviously, there is much more to follow on all of this. We'll have more of our conversation with these women coming up tonight on Nightly News and in the days ahead right here on NBC News Now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.